Hi all, my name is Dawn. Welcome to my Pilates mat class. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to lie on our backs, roll ourselves down in control. I'll give you all modifications for anything that you're dealing with. Go ahead and take a big breath. Stretch your arms and legs all the way out. Exhale, blow it out. One more time. Inhale, arms go overhead. Exhale and blow it out. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Plant those arms into the mat. Extend one leg into tabletop. Pull your navel down into the mat. Pull your other leg into tabletop. Let's start by doing some knee folds. So we take our tabletop, one leg alternating, pull up with our abdominal muscles. Use your exhale here to deepen the scoop of the low belly. As you pull up, you should feel those abdominal muscles pulling in away from your hand. You can go two legs, exhale and pull up, trying to keep your low back down on the mat, maintaining neutral spine. Good, last one. We hold the legs in tabletop, take our arms overhead, take our arms to the mat. So keep your ribs pulled down as you take your arms overhead so that your ribs don't lift up as you take your arms over both hands at the same time. Keeping those rib cage, those ribs down and in. And we hold our arms down to our hips, curl our head, neck, and shoulders up, and we begin our pumps for the 100. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. We breathe. You can extend those legs up to the ceiling for a nice stretch through your backside as you begin those pumps. Staying curled up over that bottom rib as you stay lifted. And you can extend those legs up to 45 or even lower. Good. One more breath. Inhale, exhale, and lower all the way down. Give your legs a stretch. Rock your hips side to side. And we take ourselves all the way down to the floor with those legs overhead and begin our roll up. Roll yourselves all the way up, stretching, pulling your ribs back behind you as you slow yourself down on the way down. Arms go up and continue at your own pace to roll up. So if you're like me and you've been getting outside for some walks, bikes, some jogs with the dog, you're probably a little tighter than you normally are. Just trying to get out of the house to stay active. I've been noticing that. So this is a good time to stretch. And by doing Pilates every day, you'll feel the difference in your body. And we're going to lower ourselves all the way down for the roll over, taking our legs overhead, separating them, flexing our feet, and rolling down bone by bone. Stop the legs at 45. Inhale and lift up. Using control on the way down. Pull the legs together. Reach your fingers long past your hips, flex the feet, and roll down with control. Let's try the reverse now. So legs stay apart, spine stays pulled in and down. As you lift all the way up, flex your feet and roll down with control. Try again. Separate those legs, lift, up and over, zip together, flex so you stretch the back body, roll down for last one, lift, zip together, Flex the feet and roll down. Good. Pull your knees in. Extend your right leg long on the mat. Left leg goes up to the ceiling. Rotate that leg to the inside of your body. Cross your midline, sweep the leg down, around, and stop. We're trying to stabilize our hips here. So we don't want our hips to move whatsoever. One more time in the same direction, working in that hip joint, and now we reverse. Send the leg out, down, around, and up. Keeping our bottom leg firmly planted in the mat. One more. And we scissor our legs to switch. Rotate that thigh bone. Cross your body. Sweep down, around, and scoop up. Down, around, and lift. One more. And we reverse. Sweep out, down, around, and lift. Use your abdominal muscles to pull that leg back up. Out, down, around, lift. Make it dynamic. Good. One more. And we slowly lower our leg down to the mat and roll ourselves all the way up with control. Stretch that back body. Sit up nice and tall. Go ahead and pull your leg in towards you for the abdominal series. The abdominal series is an endurance series for your abs. So it's a series of exercises you want to try to do as many of them as you can, even when you start to get tired. Still try to stay engaged to increase your endurance in those muscles. So the more you do, the better you get at them. Go ahead and roll down with control. Pull your knee in. Curl up nice and high. So wide elbows. This is the single leg stretch. Here we go. Pull, pull, and switch. Pull, pull, switch. Breathe as you work. Sending your opposite leg away in opposition. Pull, pull, switch. Preparing for your double leg stretch. We pull both legs in, extend, wrap around, and pull in. Stay lifted as you reach. Opposition, pull in. Last one. Good. Hand over hand behind your head. Stay curled up over that bottom rib. Lower the legs. Exhale and lift. Inhale out. Exhale, lift. Use that breath. Good. Staying curled up over that bottom rib. Last one. Good. Bring your right shoulder to your left knee. Extend the other leg. Try not to lower down as you switch sides. Switch and switch. Stay lifted. There's lots of variations. I like to add variations in a lot of exercises because I get bored. So we like to change it up. Good, let's do 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4. Look back. 3, 2, and 1. Stay curled up. Scissor those legs for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. And take those arms wide to a T. Legs go back into tabletop. Slide your shoulder blades down your back. We're going to take those legs to one side, allowing your opposite ribs to stay connected to the mat. So feel both back ribs glued firmly onto the mat, and that is how far you can take your legs from side to side. So you can allow for that hip to come up, but don't allow from your back, upper back, to come off of the mat. So you're working hard to keep those shoulders down your back. Exhale as you come up through center. One more on each side. Good, last one. Good. Extend both legs all the way up and sit yourself up for spine stretch forward. So we sit up tall. We keep our legs mat width apart. Arms are parallel to the floor, so you want to lift up out of your low back. And we exhale and round ourselves forward. Sit up, lifting up out of that low back. So we peel away from that imaginary wall, and then we stack our spine up against imaginary wall. Try this with your feet flexed. So you get a little more stretch through your backside as you roll over, and work through your belly strength to stack back up. Good. 2 more. Inhale. This is a breathing exercise. We actually exhale. I think I cued that wrong. Exhale as you round forward. Inhale as you lift. Good. We're going to take ourselves all the way down with control. And I want you to roll onto, let's actually go to corkscrew. So arms go down, circle your legs to one side, down, around, stop at center, reverse. Down, around, stop, and reverse. So you can keep yourself in this position, trying to keep your spine neutral the whole time, or go ahead and add a little pelvic lift with control in between each rotation. So it's a lift, lower, and reverse. So we go to the right, we lift up, lower, and left. Down, lift. And your lifts don't have to be that big. Sometimes the smaller the range of motion, the more work it is. So you choose. Sometimes if you have a low back, cranky back I call it, just an achy back, it helps if you put your hands underneath your hips to give yourself some support as you do your corkscrew. Good. All right, you're going to come all the way up for spine twist. So sit up nice and tall, and we twist to one side, and we twist to the other side. Keeping our inner thighs pulled together, keeping your abdominal muscles pulled in. Try this with your hands behind your back. So shoulders stay relaxed, and we twist. Inhale through center. Exhale as you twist to the other side. Exhale. Good. One more on each side. Twist. So we're finally adding that rotation. Last one. Roll yourself all the way down. Take your right arm overhead and roll onto your belly for swan. So our hands go underneath our shoulders, our elbows press back, and I like to keep my legs hip width apart so that it doesn't go into my low back. So I want you to be pulling your abdominal muscles up and in, even though they're lying on the mat. So imagine those abs want nothing to do with the mat. So you're going to draw a line with the crown of your head to come all the way up as high as you feel comfortable and lower with control. So it's an inhale with your breath, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. So we hold this time, look right, chin goes down around, look left, back to center, and lower with control. Let's do the opposite as we lift, look left, chin down around, look right, back to center, and lower. This time add a little press with your arms and lengthen through the crown of your head. So pull your bottom ribs in, pull your belly button in, Exhale, lower down. And now let's try swan dive. So we extend, lift, 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 extend the arms, and lift, and lower. 3, 2, 1, lower down, sit back in a child's pose. Give yourself a nice breath. Curl your spine up. Hold yourself in this tabletop position where your hands are directly under your hips and your knees are directly under your hips. Your hands are directly under your shoulders. Lengthen long through your neck. Extend your right arm out in front of you and extend your left leg behind you, working on some balance here. So you want to try to keep your hip bones even, parallel to the mat. Pull the belly up away from the floor. Notice what that does to your spine. So if you keep your spine just neutral without giving it much thought, it will actually probably arch. So pull your belly button up to flatten out your back and then go into that extended position. So pulling your belly in, hold this as you take your arm, squeezing your back muscles back towards your hip and overhead with control. So real active glutes here, glutes and hamstrings, active belly pulling up and in, and the back muscle squeezes the arm back to the hip. And now take that arm wide to a T. Give me a squeeze, just slightly lifting that arm. All the while you're keeping your opposite hip lifted up. Try not to let that hip lower down towards the floor. Keep it up. And we're going to take that arm down, sit back into child's pose. Come right back up, holding tabletop. Pull that belly in and up. Extend the other arm long, opposite leg back. Squeezing through your glutes and hamstrings. We pull that arm back to our hip and overhead. Squeeze the back muscles. So if I tried to move your arm, I wouldn't be able to because your arm is super active, feeling very strong, like you're moving it through quicksand. Good, breathe here. Pull the abs in stronger. Try not to collapse. Hold the arm out to the side and give me a little squeeze of that back to lift and lift and lift. Again, not letting your opposite hip drop down to the floor. And we take that arm back under, sit back into child's pose. Good job, gang. We're going to roll over onto our hips. And I want you to lie down into a bridge. So we're preparing here, pulling your knees in, close to your bottom, heels in, close to your bottom. Arms reach long, lift your spine up, trying to get your pubic bone up higher than your hips. And we slowly lower our spine with control. So let's try that again. Peel your spine up like it's an orange peel, peeling away from the floor. Now keep your lumbar spine up as you just get your thoracic spine down. So you want to use your abdominal muscles to create the articulation to get each bone individually back down into the mat. So your breath is inhale on the way up. Exhale and lower down with control. We're going to add some variations onto this, but this is a good movement, especially after you have worked extension, to really allow that spine to open up again into that flexion and getting that stretch here in between your vertebrae. Good. This is just a good exercise if you just have an achy back. All right, on the next one, gang, I want you to Come up with control, but in one piece. So instead of articulating up, I want you to put your legs together, push through your heels, and drive the hips high. Hold your hips steady here as you extend your bottom leg long on the floor. Keep this hip high as you lift the leg up and out. We kick and lift. So we're stretching through your hamstrings, driving through your opposite heel, squeezing your glutes, holding your hips steady, and we lower the leg to the floor and drag it in with control. Lower down to get that stretch. In one motion, we push up strong, all the way up high, hold. We lengthen our leg long and lift and kick. Use your abs to pull that leg back up. Exhale, exhale. Stay strong through your standing leg. Last one. We lengthen all the way to the floor. Drag it in and lower back down with control. Good. Take our legs a little wider now. Hands go behind our head. Curl head, neck, and shoulders up. Hold this position. We look to the right. Come to center. Look to the left. Come back to center. And we lower back down with control. Let's try that again with our heels raised. We curl up and we hold. Look to the left this time first. Twist through your ribs. Come back to center. Look to the other side, looking back at that elbow. Come back to center, and we lower down with control. Now let's take our arms, one hand over the top, and we curl up with control, and we hold, and we pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up. Take your arms on each side of your hips. Extend your legs to the ceiling. And we lift, lift, lift. Good. You've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the arms up. Last time, we lift. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down for a stretch. Roll onto your belly for swimming. So your hands now are out long with your arms. Legs are hip width apart. We lift our right arm, left leg, pulling our belly up and in. And we switch legs. Switch arms. Switch with control, keeping your shoulders down. Drive your neck long out through the crown of your head, and we swim for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands underneath our shoulders. Curl the toes under and push yourself up in one piece. Option. Come to your knees. Okay, this is a good option as long as you keep your hips down and not bent, right? So you choose. Even more challenging would be one leg. So you choose where you want to be. Push your chest up towards the ceiling so that you don't collapse through your back. You're breathing and holding this front pole support as you rock forward and back. Another option is to come to your elbows if you have cranky wrists. Last one. And widen those knees, sit back into tabletop. All right, we're gonna roll onto our back for the side kick series. So line yourself up at the back side of your mat. Ankle your bottom legs to the front side of your mat. And your options here, if you have a bad neck, then just stay here. Know that you have a little decrease in stability if you're here. Otherwise, you can take your hand to the back of your neck, but keep your head straight. Oftentimes we look at our feet, and we don't need to look at our feet. We need to keep our neck in line. Another option is to keep yourself up on your elbow, but keep that shoulder down. This is a good option for a challenge to pull those ribs lifted so you're a little more unstable. But know that if you have tight hips, this would not be the preferred position. Your preferred position with tight hips would be here. And my hips are very tight from walking and running my dog lately. So we're gonna hold that top leg hip height and kick it forward and back. We're gonna work a couple variations of the side kick series here. Of course, working both sides, but with all the walking and outdoor activity now, it's good to work all the little muscles, ligaments surrounding your hip joint. And we need flexibility in them to keep us from hurting, right? We gotta stretch that piriformis, your IT band. We're gonna hold our leg straight and circle it like your leg is a matchstick, striking your bottom foot. As you circle, pull your abs up and in, so stay real active through your powerhouse. As you circle, now reverse, circle, circle, circle. Yeah, drive that bottom leg down into the floor. It will help you with your stability. Okay, let's take that leg, bend it, extend, and draw that leg back without arching your spine, pulling the knee through. So the biggest thing here is pulling your abs in to keep your spine neutral. And breathe, of course. Keep your shoulders wide and down. And then we reverse that. So you should feel that stretch through your quad as you pull your leg back and open it through. Good. So it's more of a hurt so good. All right, you're gonna take that leg, turn it up towards the ceiling, lift and lengthen. So as you lift, try not to put more pressure of your upper body down into the mat. Try to keep that lift away from the mat, pulling your belly up and in. Moving into passe, we bend, extend, and lift. Trying to get that top leg even longer past your bottom leg. Good, one more time here. And let's reverse it. So we extend, lengthen, slide up. Good, go for the stretch when you lift. And one more time is all. And we lift both legs up with control. Hold this position, keeping your hips stacked, keeping your shoulders stacked, and we scissor our legs to switch, switch, switch. Good, last one. Bring together, lower down, roll onto your back for beats on belly. So your forehead is glued to your hands. Extend your legs so high they lift off, and we tap those heels together for 8. Shoulders down, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push yourself back into child's pose or rest position. Lengthen your arms long. Good, and we curl up with control. So I want you to turn yourself to the other side, working side kick on your other side. So we're lengthening to the back side of our mat, pulling our belly in and up, pulling our ribs up, and we lift the bottom leg, hip height. Here we go. Kick, kick forward, kick, kick back. So you should be feeling this in your hips, maybe even your bottom hip now because you felt the work. Good. Continue to work here in a dynamic movement, right? So you're trying to pull your belly in to hold yourself stable. And then we take that leg and just circle it. Maybe the size of a basketball. So pulling up and around. Again, striking that bottom foot as you lift up and around and reverse. Circle, circle. Keeping that hip long away from your shoulder and the shoulder away from the ear. Now we turn, we keep that leg straight. We bend, extend, and pull through without arching through our back. Make your belly pull that leg back in and extend. So you feel this stretch through the leg, but you should always feel those abdominal muscles work. Good, last one. And we reverse, stretch the quad, stretch the hip flexors. As you pull your leg back, you should feel that lengthening. It feels good. Good, all the while you're pulling your abs in and up. Good, you can do Pilates every day and you'll see yourself improve with each, with your increased practice. So let's take that leg, turn it up to the ceiling so you get that rotation, and then we lift and lower. Good. You'll definitely notice that maybe each side is different. We all have more flexibility on one side versus another, and consider that normal as much as we work to try to even that out, especially when we're doing our unilateral sports like golf or tennis, baseball, lacrosse. There are lots of unilateral sports that will definitely increase the tightening on one side of our body versus another. Good. Let's go ahead and reverse that now. So we extend, lengthen, and pull up. Work for the stretch. Even as you're stretching, try to keep that hip facing forward. Try not to let it roll back too much. And we're keeping that top shoulder pulled down so you keep that chest open. Good. One more. Good. And then we roll back onto our belly. Place your feet wide on your mat, elbows wide, shoulders down. Keep your head connected to your hands. As you lift and hold the lift, pull your right shoulder blade higher towards the ceiling to create rotation. Come back to center and lower down with control. Okay, shoulders down. We inhale and lift up, hold. Lift your left shoulder blade up towards the ceiling. Come back to center and lower down with control. One more is all on each side. Here we go. We lift, pull your belly up and in. Lift the shoulder blade, rotate, and lower. Inhale, lift, rotate, come back to center, and lower. Good. Push yourself up for mermaid. So we're going to work side bending here. So I like to keep my feet here because I do have tight hips. If you're pretty flexible, keep those hips stacked. So you choose where you want to be. If you're even more tight than me, which I've seen, but I have really tight hips, you can actually keep that leg straight out. So you choose where you want to be. Maybe you want to be somewhere in between. Hold on to that ankle, extend the arm, and pull yourself over to the side for a stretch. So as you're stretching here, you want to keep those ribs open to the side so that you don't fold inward. And you're stretching and lifting through your underside. Open yourself up to a T, holding that position, working your obliques to curl up and over, getting a lift from the underside, lifting up, extend, and curl. Stretch, open, round up and over. So your spine here is like a slinky, right? So I really prefer if just the top part of your spine, aka slinky, is moving. I'd like to see the bottom part of your spine, your tailbone. Stay down, anchoring your sits bone down as you curl up and over. Let's go in for a stretch. So we take our hand very gently to our ear. Stay tall here. So try not to pull your head forward. Stay lifted. Pull your elbow towards your opposite knee without pulling on your neck. So your spine is doing the work and you're pulling your sits bone down into the mat without letting your shoulders lift and by pulling your belly into your back. Good. And then we can unwind ourselves. I like to transition into can-can. So we take our fingers toward us, pulling back behind us with our arms, opening our chest. One option is to keep your elbows down on the floor, but I feel like that just doesn't give me enough room. So you choose where you'd like to be, and you pull your knees in and twisting your hips from one side to the other side, making your obliques turn your legs. So imagine you're holding a feather in between your thighs as you twist and rotate from one side to the other side. Good. We can hold and extend this long and do our hip circles. So we curl up and around and curl up and around, and we end with our legs over to the other side of our mat. So here we go. We pull into that stretch, into mermaid, opening through our ribs, and we open to a T using our obliques to curl up and over, lifting our ribs away from the floor, working those side bodies. The goal is to continue working through each exercise and also through each transition. Good, you're nearing the end here, gang. By the time you're done, your body should feel elongated. Lift your arm to the ceiling. Take your palm to your ear gently. Stay really tall here. And then curl your abs in to pull your head towards your thigh as you pull your sits bone down into the mat, pulling your navel into your spine. And we turn ourselves around to face the front again to finish. Let's take our feet bent on the floor and slowly roll our spine just halfway back. Hold this position as I find dog hair all over me. Curl your belly to come back up with your exhale. Try that again. We roll up. Keep our arms very active here as we pull our navel in stronger with an exhale to come back up. And your feet should be light. Just no energy through those feet or legs. And we pull our abs in to come back up. Good. Another option if you have sore shoulders is to keep your arms here, or you can keep your arms here, you choose. But as we roll back, I want you to hold yourself back there. Curl over your bottom rib and then come up. One more time here. Round back. Curl and hold. Curl over your bottom rib and come all the way back up. This time, I want you to roll all the way down with control. Extend your arms long. Overhead. Extend your legs. Give yourself a big deep breath. Exhale, let it go. One more time. Inhale. Exhale low. Let it go. And that's all for today. Thank you very much for joining me for class. I will see you next time.